This is a vlog test of the Sony ZV-1. We've got the Ulanzi extender tripod, extended all the way. This is a pretty comfortable distance just because you can get it extended and you can keep your arm nice like that. How's the audio sound? We've got the active stabilization turned on. It's probably nice and smooth. We do have background defocus on, so that aperture is opened all the way up at f1.8. There's some wind blowing. How does the audio sound? Probably sounds tinny, but as long as we can't hear the wind, it's a lot of wind blowing. It's a really good day to test this. It's street cleaning day. Everyone's moving their cars or they're getting tickets. Check that out. So yeah, this is pretty comfortable. Just got to remember to carry a tripod with you all the time. This would be handheld and this is fully extended, but again, my arm is starting to hurt right there. Almost too tight. Tripod, you want to go a little bit further. Boom, there you go. That's too close. I think that's the perfect distance for vlogging. It's just a little bit easier with a tripod. There is one more thing you got to carry with you though, and make sure you have attached to the camera all the time. Is it worth it? Probably. But like everything, convenience versus performance. You want to stick a microphone on top of this camera, you could do that as well. Now it becomes even more cumbersome, but it's more stuff to carry. The more you put on a small camera like this, the better it's going to perform, but your convenience is going to go down. Whereas a smartphone, you could just take it out, hold it right here, nice wide angle, but you're not going to get that bokeh. You're not going to get that. The native audio on the phone is pretty good, but you're not going to get, if it's a windy day, it's going to fall apart. Again, this is the Sony ZV-1, Ulanzi MT16 tripod, fully extended. We got a little cage on it just so that it gives it a better grip. These small cameras don't have great grips. Native audio, little gray wind muffler on top of it. Active stabilization turned on. Now let's try it with the standard stabilization. Let's see. This is the standard stabilization. I do look pretty far away right now, but I want to know if this is acceptable to be walking around. Is this footage too jumpy? Filmed a vlog on this recently, and with this camera, with just the camera. I didn't use a tripod or anything, it was just handheld, and it was just acceptable. Again, it's not a GoPro. iPhone has awesome stabilization, like near perfect stabilization, and I'm using the iPhone 13 Pro, not even the 14 Pro, but you can't argue with the wind reduction on this. Oh, I smell natural gas. The wind reduction, and you just get a better picture quality of this. It's probably a little bit more stable if you use a tripod like I'm using. So maybe you could use a smaller tripod. There you go, there's the tripod. It's all the way collapsed now. Now the camera's much smaller. How is it as far as stabilization? It's always going to be more comfortable to do that. You don't have to extend your arm out all the way here. You can get a wider shot. But the main thing is this acceptable? These are the things that I think about when I start thinking, what's the better overall camera for me? Is it the Sony ZV-1 or the Sony ZV-1F? Now, of course, the ZV-1F does shine in this environment where you're holding the camera pointing it towards you. It does have slightly better audio and 4mm wider. You want to just take that thing, pull it out of your pocket, not use a tripod, it's probably a better bet. The grip sucks on that camera. I got to put a cage on that camera. But overall, this camera, slightly worse audio. It does have a hot shoe adapter on top. It does have the zoom range. It does have the f1.8 aperture instead of the f2, so you got to blur your background. And originally I was going to send back the Sony ZV-1F. However, I decided to keep it just to test it. I never really tested it out. But this might be the overall better camera. Well, actually it is. Better autofocus, more bokeh, better in low light, more zoom range, more versatile when you're pointing it out. Whereas the ZV-1F is slightly better audio, lighter, easier to talk to the camera when you're pointing it at your face. But as soon as you turn it around like that, it's not as good. Partially because I have a grip on it. On this one I have a grip, but you can get a grip for that too. How is that stabilization? If it's acceptable, then this is the better camera. This is a nice, easy viewing angle. I'm pretty much holding my arm like that. I could talk like this all day. This is not very uncomfortable. Let's try the active stabilization, see how that is. Cropped in image, active stabilization, is it worth it? It doesn't crop in that much. It's not like I'm like that. If I was handheld, that would just be a hit. I think this is the perfect viewing angle. Just have to be aware that you can't just get comfortable and hold it like this. I think either way, this is good. It's good to have options. It's a windy day. It's a great day to test the audio on this camera. Great day to test the audio. How is it? Standard stabilization. We're walking fast now. Make sure we look when we cross the street, but we're walking fast. We have the tripod. How is that? Is that good? Is that bad? Is it acceptable? If standard stab is acceptable, stab, like Camera Conspiracy says, then this is the ticket. Throw in a couple of extra batteries. I mean, this is a great camera. Been using it for over 2 years now. Cheaper than a smartphone. How is it? And then this would be if I handheld it. It probably shakes around. Probably get a more stable image when you hold it by the tripod. All right, we're almost at lunch. See you guys soon. Thanks.